Buenas noches, Corillo. ¿Cómo han estado? Welcome back to another episode of the BPM podcast, your favorite podcast of the world. It's a new year, and I've been lagging, but it's all right because I needed a break, and we all need a break. What do you need a break from? You tell me what you need a break for. Why do married men have hobbies? Why do married men have a garage? Tell me. Because they get tired of the wife and be like, hey, I need some fucking alone time. Leave me alone. I need a break. 2023 is starting right. You know, it's starting to show its colors. Us, and it'll never stop. It'll never stop being crazy. It'll never stop. Keep saying this and no one listens. It'll never stop being chaotic. Chaotic is what drives us to be better. It drives us to seek other avenues of nourishment, if you want to call it that. But it started off pretty strong, right? On my bubble, I follow a couple things online. I follow UFC, MMA. I follow a couple podcasts and the news of what's going on in Mexico. I'm always interested to see how my fellow Mexicans view the craziness of living in an environment where to them is almost normal. They're not scared. They don't know the word PTSD. they suffer from it. They just don't know that it's a defense mechanism. They might know what it is. I don't even know what PTSD is. It is post-trauma stress disorder, right? So it's after the fact of you living a horrible experience or a near-death experience or it could be anything that could cause you stress after the fact. The memory of it, that, and El Chapo's son got captured, right? And this happened December 5th, the night of December 4th, early morning December 5th, he got caught. I've been diving into what happened, how it happened. Allegedly, well, not allegedly, now is verified, which I don't totally understand. It is crazy that this guy gets captured, but he had an order of apprehension. That's all he had. He's like, we need to capture him, and that's it. But he has no cases, no open cases on his name. Even though he was captured in 2019, he has no open cases. It is known that he is the youngest son of El Chapo, well, recognized son of El Chapo, youngest, because who knows how many illegitimate sons or daughters he's got. So he gets captured. It was really interesting because what I found out is that this guy was, after his first attempt to get captured, his brothers made the decision to move him to another location, somewhere where he felt safe, somewhere where it was a little more secluded from outsiders coming in. It's a little town called Santa Maria, right outside of Culiacan, and they told him, you have to go because our dad says that you fucking are our responsibility or what have you, and then we need to keep you safe. From what I've gathered on my intel, right? He is living with his wife, girlfriend, and 3 daughters at the moment of the government raid. He had 19 rings of security. All right, 19 rings of security. Before I get to that, this little town has one entrance, and it's not like all paved roads. This is just out in the rural areas of Mexico, on top of a hill. So one way in, one way out. 19 rings of security. Lives behind this walled house, almost like a ranch type of home. And the government, apparently, Homeland Security was involved in intelligence gathering. And the crazy thing is that I believe the Mexican president said we had to capture him because Biden was coming down. I might have misread that. I might have missed a couple minutes of the actual interview, but that was the headline. That was like, we had to capture somebody for President Biden in order to show the fruits of our labor. And he keeps denying this war that's happening down there. He says that there's no war. That's all there is. He said there's no war. There's just no peace, which is fucking insane. And he has this saying. It says "abrazos no balazos," means hugs, not fires. Not hugs, not bullets being fired. In a sense, which is insane because so many his tenure as a president has been the deadliest tenure in the history of Mexico. Let's go back to his 19 rings of operation of security. So the government is collecting evidence or collecting data on such individual, Ovidio Guzman, El Ratón, 6 months prior to his apprehension. And then they will send one truck or a one unit close to the house to listen to him, to see what he's driving, to pinpoint what his actual moves are. And also, I didn't know Mexicans had this. They have a surveillance airplane with night vision. So they are actually circling, they're pinpointing where his room's at, where his daughter's rooms are. They're doing all the intel to actually come in and grab him. So the government, did a little playmaking. The actual raid's name is Operación Relámpago, which is like what's this? Relámpago is like lightning. So that's what we call it. Operation Lightning. You see how I have a hard time translating sometimes? Because, it ain't easy being chasey, boy. Once I set up the mind to speak English, it wants to speak English. But if I have to speak Espanol, I speak Espanol, but not so fast. It has to be rebooted a little bit sometimes, because I can only do so much. So, granted, they're doing all this surveillance 6 months prior. They identify one of his trucks, a black SUV with a turret mount on the top. Oh, that's who's driving that? Oh, that's the guy at the corner store. That's his personal vehicle. Of course, you're right. That's a high value target. Let's track that vehicle. And they start doing that, and they pinpoint it to that house, and then so and so forth. So the Mexican government, the Mexican army, or the Mexican special forces, Because I guess we have special forces, guys. I didn't know this either. I was like, what the hell is FER? That's the name of the special forces of the Marines in Mexico. So they attack his first ring, the first ring of security. They clash. They clash with that ring, and then the sicarios start calling him for backup. As they're doing that, backup, his other rings come forward. This is such a fucking crazy thing, right? They come forward, leaving behind Ovidio with his other ring or rings. While that's happening, they had a time span of 10 minutes to grab him. And if they didn't grab him with those 10 minutes, they were just going to let go and leave. Which is crazy. Like, hey, we have 10 minutes. Think about that. We have 10 minutes, and if we can't capture him, we have to leave. So it's a very small window of chance for them to grab him. While that's happening, a fucking airplane sends troops via parachute. So they parachute down into his property. They didn't even have to like break the wall or jump the wall or breach the wall or breach the door. Nothing. They jumped right into his property, and that's when the chaos started. It's still kind of up in the air how, like, because the first reports were that they pulled him over and they started firing, and from what I gather is that he was in the car when he was captured. They go in the house, they extract him, put him in a car to a safer location where a helicopter took him and to Culiacan's airport, and that's why they were trying to blow up the runway so the plane wouldn't take off. And from there to Mexico City. The crazy thing is that he has no apprehension. The only thing that he had, it was a apprehension order. That's the only thing that I could find. He has no open cases. He has open cases in the U.S., not in Mexico. We're talking about Mexico. The U.S., he's got all kinds of cases. They're offering, I think, $5 million for him. The DEA is actually offering that much. But in Mexico, it's bizarre, right? It's a little... It almost seems to me like they're going to let him go. To me, if my conspiracy hat is on right now, eventually he is going to either let go of or escape, because they put him in the same prison his dad escaped in 2014 or 13. One of the years. His dad escaped that prison. So that's how the year started. We got, and the crazy thing is that like the war on drugs is never going to stop, because that's not the root. That's 1% of the actual problem, drugs. But the problem is consumption. Who consumes drugs? Why do we incentivize people like that to become so violent and so powerful? They could overthrow a government. They could snatch people from the government hands, to evade government, to do this. I get it. But why do we keep focusing on the drugs? You take the drugs away, a lot of people are going to, 1, die, 2, be crazier, and they're going to find another thing to get high on, because that's not the drug is not the problem. It's just a band-aid to a solution that they don't have an answer to. Self-medicating drug use is the number one. It's public enemy number one. Yet we're still focusing on getting the drugs off the streets because our kids are not gonna be safe. Our kids, yeah. It's all good. But what is causing drug use? what is actually causing drug use. It depends on case by case, right? So, and until we figure out how to put resources to the American people living in this country, whether you're black, Mexican, white, yellow, red, whatever you are, you live in this country. Till we figure out who and how we can help each other to let go of those vices, they are the cause of such a violent state right across the border. It's a drive away from most places in the border towns of the USA, right? So instead of sending money to Ukraine, which I don't, right? Sending money overseas, sending money to help other people. How about Americans? When are we going to help Americans that are struggling with mental health, poverty, stricken communities, right? Poor diets, poor education systems. For years, for decades, it seems like, even for me, because I'm an outsider, I wasn't born in this country, so I look at things, even if they're shitty, sometimes that shitty situation is better than the situation I was growing up in. So I have a sympathy for not a sympathy. I have a different view of how things are, and they could be better, right? From the outside, the America seems like it's like this great country and this amazing American dream, and it's all a lie. It's all about consumption of food, consumption of a material thing, consumption of drugs, all these consumptions. It takes a toll on your mind when you're like, why am I chasing the new fucking Air Forces, or why am I chasing the new phone, or what? Like, it takes a while for you to realize that it's part of the matrix. That's why they want to keep you in the matrix. I sound crazy now, right? But the question is, when are we going to help Americans, right? That need help. They need, it almost seems like the soul of a lot of people are no longer with them. They're just moving along, trying to survive, when we're sending, I don't say nothing. When they're sending money to other countries, and yet we fail to see that our team needs help. Our team is our community. Our team is our community, and don't you want your community to be a community where you're like, oh man, I could go for a walk at 11 o'clock at night and nothing's going to happen to me. Or I want to go for a walk, I'm going to leave my car unlocked, and in the morning it'll be like I left it. You take your chances leaving your car unlocked like I did and Christmas Eve, and your shit gets fucking, it gets messed with. They stole my tools, they stole, money, they stole hoodies, they stole glasses, they stole everything they could but the car. But that's my fault. I left my car unlocked while I was probably drunk, and that doesn't matter. It's all, I can rebuy everything they stole. I'm okay, so it is what it is. I can't change that, so I'm not going to waste energy. It's dead energy if I get mad at that. But if I see that homeless rocking my Ray-Bans, he's getting fucking choked out, just so you know. If you're listening to me right now, listen. I hope you're warm with my hoodies and my hats. But if I see you with my sunglasses, boy, I'm kicking that boy. I'm slapping them off your face. Not really. No, but it's wasted energy. But again, the root of the entire consumption of drugs, it's a $1 billion industry year, and it keeps growing and growing. And now these fentanyl shit, boy, we are going down the rabbit hole. What's next? Kangaroo pee to get tripping, right? It is. And drugs are amazing. right? Drugs are amazing. You got a headache, you pop a couple Advils, gone. Drugs are amazing. It's just we don't know how to deal with drugs because we're dealing with other things that we like to bury deep down inside of us that we think we're special because we're going through this suffering or this shitty thing that happened to me, and we fail to see that everyone's going through shit. It's just about how you get up, how you dust yourself off and keep going. That shit is going to be there. If you let it take you down, it's going to drag you down with it. And then what? You're going to be 80 years old and be like, fuck, full of regret, full of what if. That's not how we should live our lives. 2023 is not going to be pretty. It ain't going to be roses and violins playing for you every time you know. No one's going to come and clap. Oh, good job. No one cares. Stop thinking that people are going to come and save you. No one's going to save you. You got to save yourself. And if you can save people along the way, good. But most important, save yourself. No one's going to come in and try to fucking, oh, you need help? No one cares. Snap out of it. Sounds corny, but put your boots on, strap your belt, and fucking, it's Monday, motherfucker. Sniff your balls and walk away like you just smelled a dozen roses. 2023, from my point of view, I'm a pessimist with a hint of luck, right? Everything has to do with luck. But if this keeps going down, eggs are fucking $30 for 18 pack. $30. Might as well eat out every night now. 2023 is not going to be pretty. But you got to make the best out of it. Shit. Life gives you a shit sandwich. You'll be like, well, guess what? Try me. Keep trying me because I'm not backing down. I'm not going to feel sorry for myself. I'm going to learn from what I got to learn and then keep it moving. Because you know what it says. Now the saying goes, still water starts to stink after 3 days. I don't know if that's how the saying goes, but I just made it up. And with that, my friends, listen, take the life by the horns, and if it fucking hits you back, get back up. It ain't over. It's over until you're not here no more. So give it a chance. Give yourself a chance in order to become who you want to become. Whatever that is. You want to become a fucking stripper. You want to become a drug dealer. You want to become a comedian. You want to become a doctor. Give yourself the chance to at least give yourself the try of the thought that I'm trying to become better. It ain't going to be easy, but I'm going to try. I'm going to cry. I got to go through this wall, but it ain't going to be easy. So 2023 can suck it. You got this. And with that, my friends, much love.